I guess I'm just skipping over my intro screen. Let's run it anyway. Wrong button.
Perfect.
Alright, what is up, you heathens and demons? I'm a little tired. Wrong buttons and shit already. How y'all doing? What's up? So, yeah, I've had an interesting day. This conversation, Darth is not here tonight. This conversation happened a few hours ago, early this afternoon. So, we had Taylor in last night. The room against Taylor, pretty much, I think is the only way you can really describe it. Clusterfuck of a conversation that was. Up later than I really should have been. Didn't sleep well. I didn't sleep well. Woke up too damn early. Woke up too many times when I was actually sleeping. Tired. But, Brett Keane was streaming when I woke up, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll shoot the shit. I'm just going to probably, room hop today anyway. So I jump in the room, and we're shooting the shit, Will's there, Brett's there, and it's actually a pretty good conversation. And then it doesn't happen again, does it? No. It's been such an atrocity both times. The last time I actually talked to Darth, it didn't go so well. Darth called me the dumbest atheist in the history of the world. Said I was the type of person that invites the family over for Thanksgiving, and then everybody gets over there ready for Thanksgiving dinner, and there's no fucking turkey. It was about 15 minutes of just, yeah, Darth. He was in the side chat that I noticed, and he visits my side chat in cycles, but not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, Darth, come on in here. I won't kick you out or nothing. You can school me in philosophy, make me look stupid, and he didn't come in. He wouldn't come in, so I was surprised today. Well, I guess I should just let you see it. So we're gonna title this hashtag Irrational Atheist, hashtag illogical atheist. I don't know. I mean, I tried to give Darth what he wanted, I thought. I guess I'm just not that good at philosophy yet. I'll let you decide. Let's check it out. This happened just a few hours ago.
Just come back. We don't do anything. He does all the work.
Hold on. We got somebody new in the room. Mr. Evolution False, how are you today?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? I recognize that voice. How you doing, handsome?
You're too complimentary.
All right, I can take the mask off the screen now because I know you're not going to throw a pecker out on me.
No, not at all.
So if I held up a woodpecker right here, would that cause problems for your channel?
You know what I'm talking about. These atheists sometimes treat my room like it's a strep joint. I don't know what that's all about.
This is totally like that web chat site, right?
Well, yeah. Brett Keane is the only person who's kicked me off of his stream multiple times that I still have endearment for. So
I still love you, know that.
Well, that's because when you kick me, you're not being malicious. It's not a malicious kick. So
yeah, you beat on those atheists so bad, I start to feel sorry for them. We're just goofing, raging, just goofing. But yeah, continue on, guys. Get in the conversation.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Knock here why his atheism is reasonable.
Oh God, here we go. I don't know if I'm ready for you yet, Darth.
Is the coffee still kicking in, Rage?
I'm about coffeeed out. I don't know. Because it's me, man. I don't know. Why is it
That's
not?
yeah.
Why
Why
is
is
it not
your?
reasonable?
I'm waiting for an answer. You're quite an outspoken atheist and atheist YouTuber. I'd like to know why your atheism is reasonable. Can you please explain that to me?
I don't know, because I don't see any evidence for a God. I don't have any reason to
Okay.
believe in a God.
So you stated that what you're telling us is that you've decided that all the things around you are standalone with respect to God. Now, how did you make that determination?
Say that again. Like everything
When you
around
say
me is
there's
standalone.
when you say there's no evidence for God, that's a claim, right?
I guess, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I've just never found any.
Okay, so that's a claim that when we talk about all the things around us, the sun, the moon, and the stars, the grass blowing the wind, we will make a decision of one of two things: either that it is indicative necessarily of God, or it is not. So you've decided, and you're making the claim that all these things are not indicative of God, that they exist standalone without reference to God. That's your position?
I guess, yeah. I guess.
Good.
Yeah.
And how did you make that determination?
I don't know. Just one day I came to that conclusion.
Was there a reason behind it?
Several, I guess. I mean, several different instances in my life. I don't know. God never really answered prayers for me. I never really had the feeling that God was with me, like a lot of people describe. I guess would be an honest way to describe it. I don't know. I talked about earlier a moment where, you know, I looked around me. I was in prison, and I looked around me, and I'm like, most of these people believe in the same God I believe in, and they're still horrible, just like I am. You know, so I don't know. I just came to the conclusion that God doesn't exist. That, you know, like, this is what we got right here.
Okay.
So God doesn't exist because of a lot of people being horrible?
Yeah, that's a non sequitur.
The
So when you
Bible
say
says
that-
that most people are. Bible says all people
Probably.
are horrible at their core, so I don't see
Yeah.
that as a compelling reason.
So when you say there's no evidence for God, that is the same thing as saying
I've never had a God talk to me.
Okay, so yeah, I've never had God speak to me either. But so when you say there's no evidence for God, you hopefully you agree that that's the same thing as saying that these things do not and cannot stand in causal relations to God. Do you agree?
You know, like, I'm going to make a comment at some point in this, and I think it gets overdrowned, and then I make a similar comment later, and it doesn't. But, you know, like, I'm not sure who was beating up on our good old buddy Darth today in Clubhouse or on his Discord server. I don't know if it's Jack, Amber, if it's Tom, or any of those philosophicats that are good with these logical conversations, right? I'm not sure who it was that spent their mornings shitting on Darth Dawkins so brilliantly that he thought, like, hey, let's try this again with rage. You know, I am a lot calmer. I am a lot calmer than I used to be. So let's see how it goes.
Agree with that?
I mean, I guess. I guess. I don't know. Oops. Yeah, I guess that I can agree with that. I think I'm following what you're saying.
So your position is God does not exist because all the things around you cannot and do not stand in causal relations to God. Is that your position?
I guess.
I think
Good.
he's
How did you determine that?
I don't know. I just came to a conclusion one day.
So was it arbitrary?
Like, what do you think? Like, everything around me is not causal, whatever. Are you talking like? So I go out in the environment and there's a tree there, right? And that's when I see that tree, I don't see like God there. I don't know. Wait, I'm not.
Okay,
quite
so
sure.
you've decided that it does not stand in causal relations to God, right?
Yeah, I don't think that tree has a relationship with God.
Good. You mean when we say relationship, we're talking about having its ultimate origin in God, both chronologically.
Sure.
and
Yeah, I think
temporally.
it grew out
Okay.
of the
So
ground.
how did you? You're making a claim there. Now, how did you determine that?
Well, just because I don't know. I've watched a tree grow out of the ground.
That doesn't. I watched the tree growing out of the ground too. I'd like to know how you determine that the tree is not causally related to God. Your position is that the tree is not causally related to God. The theist position is that the tree is causally related to God as the first cause. But you've decided that the tree is not causally related to God, right?
So your position is that God caused that tree.
I haven't given my position. All I'm interested at right at this juncture.
And my position is that God did not cause that tree.
Good. And how did you determine that?
Because I don't see God causing the tree. I see it growing.
That's a non sequitur.
I don't know how to answer it. Then tell me how to answer.
Do you know what a non sequitur is?
Kind of.
A non sequitur is something that does not follow. Okay. So when we're talking about either God being the chronological or contemporary ultimate source, when you say I don't see it, right, you're just simply restating the same claim that it doesn't stand in causal relations to God. So
you're asking me why I came to that conclusion.
Give me 10 more seconds. Give me 10 more seconds.
Cool.
When you say I just don't see it, you're just repeating the same claim. Do you realize that?
No, but thanks for telling me.
Well, it is. When you say I just don't see it, if you say, well, there's no evidence for God. Why? Because I just don't see it. You're repeating the same claim in different words. So how did you decide and determine that facts around you exist stand alone without reference to God? And saying, because I just don't see it, is simply restating the whole same claim. How did you rationally decide that everything you're acquainted with exists without reference to God? How'd you determine that?
Because I had rejected God.
On what basis?
Because I didn't believe in it anymore. I stopped believing.
On what basis?
Because I stopped. It doesn't matter what I say. I can give you whatever reason. It's not going to be good enough for you.
Well, if I can interject, I want to interject here. Sorry, I just need to interject. Rage already said earlier that one of the reasons he had for rejecting God was that when he was in prison, surrounded by other prisoners who also claimed to be believers in God or Christians, and even though they did that, they were just as bad or worse than he was, and why he was there. And so that was one of his reasons for rejecting the existence of God. I think you should ask him about other reasons other than that. That would explain why he rejected God.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking...
Unanswered prayers, right?
That's God a non sequitur.
Well, I'm sure it is. All right, I'm not going to try to interrupt this too much. I don't... Oh, gosh. And it'll be more like, me flashing to the camera here to kind of maybe like give you an expression or something. I don't know. But, I try to give Darth what he wants. Now, I don't know. I've been studying philosophy for about 1.5 years now, but I just started really kind of getting on the edges of epistemology, knowledge, theory of knowledge, stuff like that. I haven't really been focused on that. And I even said it, I said it once here. I think I'm going to say it later. I'm just not ready for Darth yet, man. Dude, I tried to give you the answer. You asked me and I gave you the answer. Okay. I don't know. It seemed like we ran in circles with Taylor yesterday. And I think I just ran in circles with Darth again. Surprise! All right, let's go. But you're asking for my reasons, and they're mine. I don't know how to give you anything that's not my reasons.
That's a non sequitur. It doesn't follow that. It doesn't.
You want me to be a philosopher when I'm not, Darth? That's always
okay. Well, listen to me. I'm not asking you to be a philosopher. I'm asking you a very simple and basic question. What is the rational, non-arbitrary basis for your declaration that there is no God? Now, you are quite an outspoken.
Well, tell me yours for why there is a God.
I'll be glad to get to it, but in that request that you just make, are you conceding on YouTube that you don't have a rational defense for your not Godism.
I guess that's what I've done. Or I don't. Maybe. Sure.
Oh, okay. So you're the raging atheist. You do it.
It's kind of implied in the name, I think, right?
Right. So you don't have a clear, unambiguous, rational defense.
I don't have a degree in philosophy. I haven't. I'm trying to dig into logic. I'm really trying to learn, Darth. I'm not ready for you
evasive. You're being evasive. I'm not being philosophical.
I'm still a grasshopper, and you're a master.
Well, I'm not. I'm not speaking in philosophy speak. I'm not being.
So I'm trying to be real with you and give my real reasons, but then you want me to.
You haven't given me a substantive reason so far as to why there's no God, have you?
Well, all right. I've tried to in the past. So another reason, like I know TTUR, you're probably at least interested.
Well, I mean, today, have you given me a substantive defense why there's no God?
I just stopped believing. I lost that.
I know you told me that. I asked you a question. See, what happens when I talk with atheists?
It's been a long time since.
Why are you?
Oh wow! Yeah, and John Rapp, yeah, like I know, like there's some better answers that I could have given in this, but like it quickly got to a point like I'm just not going to give him like really anything substantive. I'm going to stick with kind of like the same, just honest, basic answer, and then I'm going to really like hone in on just like I'm going to give you the same fucking answer every time, Doug. But I do try that a couple times. Like I do try to throw it back at Darth. And every time I talk to him, but he's just not really willing to do that, right? Like he wants to keep it. I don't know. Like he never really wants to talk about a Christian God. But all right, let's continue.
You're talking to me. May I finish, please?
I do apologize, sir.
When I talk with atheists, they frequently, as a tactic, ignore my question and then pretend like they're answering it. Have you given so far a substantive explanation how you determine there's no God?
Not for you, I haven't.
No, I didn't ask for me. Have you presented a substantive basis why there's no God?
I don't think I've intended to try to do that.
Okay, so you don't have a rational basis then that there's no God?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
So wait a minute. You've been on YouTube for years proclaiming you're atheist. You beat up on people on your show, okay, ranting about your atheism, that there's no reason to believe in God. Do you have a reason, a cogent reason right now, how you determine there is no God?
I don't have a belief for God. So I just don't understand what you're asking of me. Do you want me to give you
confused? Atheism is the position. If you look at the literature,
I think you're the one that's like confused by a lot of atheists.
I'm not confused. I'm not confused by anything. In fact, I've done quite an extensive study, not only of atheism, but of the definitions of atheism. Now, Are you trying to maintain right here that your atheism does not constitute the outright denial of the existence of God?
Does not constitute the outright denial of the existence of God. No, I think I outright deny the existence of God.
Okay, can you please tell me rationally why there's no God?
Because I don't see one in my reality.
You're repeating the same claim in different words.
Claim, I know. Okay.
I mean, if you want to dispute that,
I don't hear one. I don't feel one. I don't see any impact of one. Okay. I don't see one in physical form, spiritual form.
There are plenty of things that you believe in that you cannot see. Do you believe in the uniformity of nature? Well, of course you do, but you can't see the uniformity of nature. You may see certain repeated events that you will attribute to the uniformity of nature.
I can't see gravity.
So not seeing or hearing God, it doesn't follow from that logically that there's no God.
But God speaks to so many people. It doesn't speak to me. It doesn't give me any feeling.
Okay. I'm waiting. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but you are
I'm an atheist that expresses that I'm an atheist, and
okay,
you want
right.
Me to, like,
do you require a rational basis or a reason to believe in God?
I just require a lack of belief.
No, you're not. You got to focus on what I'm saying to you. Do you require a reason to believe in
No,
God?
I don't need a reason to believe or not believe in God. I just need it. I don't have a belief.
Okay. You mean you just woke up one day like in a state of amnesia and you were missing a belief?
I just woke up one day and I don't even think it was one day. I think it was a course of many days that I just stopped believing.
Okay. So you have you decided that there's no God, or is your not God?
I don't know. Darth, you missed, like, I just recently had this whole, like, I don't know, maybe, like, it's maybe, maybe there's something, I don't know. Who am I to say?
So you're no longer an atheist?
No, I'm still pretty much an atheist.
Well, an atheist is somebody who says there are no gods.
Yeah, like, no, I had that moment, but then I'm like, yeah, no, fuck it, there's nothing.
Okay, can you please tell me rationally why there's no God? Because you haven't told me so far. You haven't given me a rational basis. So
you're a Christian, right? So I can give you, like, I think I can give you a rational basis.
I'm waiting for you to tell me why there is no eternal creator God.
Not a Christian God.
I'm waiting for you to tell me the rational basis for your atheism. Can you do that, please?
I don't know. I don't believe in Harry Potter either.
Okay. Can you give me the rational basis why there is no ultimate creator God?
Santa Claus, I figured out Santa was fake, so it was just a matter of time.
Okay. Well, you understand we have good reasons to believe Santa Claus. Okay, we have good reasons to believe that Santa Claus does not exist, right? So, for example, if Santa Claus did exist, what we would expect to find are reports from parents all over the world that there were presents underneath the Christmas tree for which they had no explanation for. But we don't even have any instances of this. So we have excellent reasons to believe that Santa Claus does not exist. Do you have a good reason why God does not exist?
I mean, what are your reasons why God exists?
Okay. Notice. I want the audience to pay very close attention. Here is an outspoken, very motivated YouTube atheist, and he is deflecting here. I'm waiting for you to explain, and I'm being very polite with you. I'm not mistreating you. I want you to explain, but so far you've just dodged. I want you to explain right now. Can I finish, please?
What am I doing? I keep like muting the wrong. Hopefully you guys have been able to hear shit. I don't know what the fuck. Desktop audio too. I'm muted. I don't know. I'm so terrible. I'm sure you'd let me know if you haven't actually been hearing it. I'm terrible. Like, honestly. So I wasn't expecting Darth. I haven't talked to Darth in a long time at this point. There was a point after the second time I talked to Darth, Steve McRae tried to help me out. And he sent me these videos like, hey, if you really want to go at Darth and really fuck Darth up with some arguments, here check out these videos. And I watched them, and after the second time, like, I was ready to go at Darth again. But then, like, the next time Darth came in, it was like in my Discord server, and Allie wanted her turn, and she had her fun. And then the next time Darth came, John wanted his turn, and he had his fun. And by the time, so I get surprised today, and that shit, fuck, I don't remember those videos anymore, right? So I just go with the basic. All right, I'll give you my real, like, what I can remember of why I stopped believing in God, which was like 20 fucking years ago, right? I'm not a philosopher. I've never claimed to be a philosopher. I don't have these philosophical conversations with people. Maybe at one point, I'm still a grasshopper. I'm not a master. I'm not ready, master. So I just try to be honest with the dude, and it's not good enough. Oh, fucking Darth.
I want you to explain to me rationally how you determine there is no creator God. How did you determine that?
Let me think about it. Because, I can't see all of the universe, so I can't. I don't know. I don't know, Darth. You've stumped me. You got me.
So you don't have a wait a minute. You've been doing this for years,
I've been myself.
Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? When I'm responding to you, can you not cut me off and interrupt me?
I can try. I can't promise you.
Right. Now, I've asked you multiple times. I've been very reasonable about this.
Cool.
Right. I haven't cut you off. And I'm asking the same question that you have yet to answer. Do you have a logical, rational basis of how you've decided there is no God?
Yes.
What is it?
Fucking mute buttons. I can't right now. Like this happened in the moment earlier. I know Ivan was trying to give me some good answers for Darth to really throw a wrench in him in the side chat, and I'll say it at one point in this. I'm like, I refuse to look at that. Oh man, Darth should know by now. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, did Jack spank you? Did Amber put the whooping on you? Hurt your little feels? So you found rage on Brett. You're like, I'm gonna go get some redemption. Fucking loser. It's indescribable.
I'm waiting for a rational explanation.
I can't put words to my explanation for I don't believe in God.
So you don't have a rational basis that you can share with us?
Well, to me, it's quite rational. It's just I have a hard time expressing it to you because I don't know what answer you want. I probably should. Since I probably should have kept up on you but I don't know. I've been trying to figure out philosophy on my own, not trying to figure out how to combat.
You're on YouTube for several years, whining and complaining about people's conduct.
I've been on YouTube being myself for about 5 years now.
Right. So the point is, in a world without God, which is your perspective, why are you complaining about any other events when there's nothing identifiable which dictates events? Why are you complaining about events when there's nothing that dictates events in your view?
I don't know. Real quick, Ivan, I'm refusing to look at your chats. I'm not gonna I don't really care about answering correctly for Darth. But all right, so repeat that again, Darth.
Well, in addition to your vocal atheism, in all the times that I've listened to you, and even the times that I've talked with you, I have never heard you once give a basic, rational explanation why there's no God, and I'm waiting for one.
But it is Darth. It's not his real picture. I don't think that's his real photograph. No. I mean, I've given you what I consider it to be.
What was that?
I don't consider God to be necessary.
How did you determine that?
For the planet to exist, for the universe to exist. I mean, I don't know. How did you determine that it is necessary?
Okay. Now, planet? When you say,
you want to ask all of these questions of me, but I never get to ask any questions of you.
Well, I'll be glad to answer your questions.
You say that every time, but I've never gotten gotten an answer.
In fact, that's
I've at least given answers to you because.
Are you going to go? Are you going to go into bickering mode?
Well, I mean, kind of. I feel like throwing a tantrum right now.
The issue is not that I don't like your answers. So far, by your own concession, you haven't given a rational basis why there's no God. To sit there and say you've given me answers, but I don't like them. I'm talking right now. Excuse me. I was talking. I'd like to finish.
I apologize.
Okay. Now. I have repeatedly asked you, what is the rational, logical basis why there's no God? You've told me that you have given me ones, but I don't like it. Now, have you given me even one logical, rational reason why there is no God? Have you given me one?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't see it.
That's a restatement of the same claim.
I know. You say that. And it's probably true. That? It's probably true because you're
saying I don't see God. Okay, is simply just a rehashing that God doesn't exist.
So God is not necessary for my reality.
That's a restatement of the same claim. To say God is not necessary, and please don't interrupt me.
Oh my God,
God, by definition, as a concept, right, as a conceptual being, okay, whether or not God exists, conceptually, God is defined as the necessary precondition of all things. If you assert God is not necessary, in other words, for everything else, that is the same thing as saying God doesn't exist. Now, on what rational basis do you say God is not necessary?
So now I got to figure out one for that. You're going to give me a headache. What rational reason? Okay. Because
are you embarrassed as a YouTube? Are you embarrassed as an atheist who's been on YouTube for years?
Really.
And I am not asking you trick questions. I'm not being philosophical.
You keep saying an atheist on YouTube, and yeah, I'm the raging atheist, and I talk about like atheism. I'm just myself. That's what I am, man. I'm kind of.
I'm still waiting. What is the one logical, rational basis that there is no God? Can you give that to me, please?
Can you please tell me the answer you want me to give you?
I want you to give me your logical, rational basis why there is no God. Can you give that to me, please?
At this point, yeah, just tell me what you want me to give you, dog. I don't know, man. I don't know what you want from me, and I don't know the correct answer.
Yes, you do. Okay, well, first of all, you're now lying to me and to the audience when you say you don't know what you want, I want from you. I have told you in very clear terms, I would like for you to give me a brief, logical, rational basis how you determine there is no God.
You first.
Can you answer that question, being that you're the YouTube raging? I don't have a YouTube channel.
You're Darth Dawkins, man.
Okay. I don't have a YouTube channel.
You're way
where
bigger
I'm wearing. Okay. I'd like to know from you, do you have a rational defense of your atheism?
Yes.
Good. Could you please give it now?
I don't see it. I don't see God. I don't feel God. I don't hear it. It doesn't register in my senses as a human being. I don't experience your God.
Okay.
That's rational to me, Darth.
Okay. Let me explain to you why it's not. Let me explain to you why it's not.
Please do, finally.
Okay. The reason why what you just said is not rational is because you would have to defend that were a creator God to exist, you would necessarily see him. Now, can you defend that?
No.
Okay, so you just admitted that your rationale wasn't rational at all. You just contradicted yourself.
I'm not called the rational atheist.
Okay, so you don't have a rational defense.
I guess not, man.
Okay, so then what are you?
I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit tomorrow.
Are you gonna quit? Are you gonna quit YouTube?
Probably.
Yeah, something makes me think that that's not true.
So I got a sad announcement to make. I don't have a rational justification for my atheism, so I can't do it anymore. I quit. Fuck. Darth.
True.
Maybe not. It probably won't happen.
No. So you
maybe I'll become a Christian. Maybe you convince me, Darth.
Okay.
I'll become a Christian.
No, but what's amazing is in just a few short minutes, where you or your compatriots don't have the power to be abusive or mods, and I've just simply asked you a simple question. Please give me a logical defense that there is no God. Do you now admit to the YouTube audience you do not have a logical, rational defense for your atheism? That your denial that God exists?
No, I have a logical, rational defense for myself.
What is it? Because so far you haven't given one.
Because I don't see it, I don't experience it.
Okay, did I not just explain to you
non sequiturs or whatever?
Okay, do you want to dispute?
Something's fuzzy. Why are you all of a sudden so fuzzy?
Okay, so since God,
God doesn't want you to talk to me. I don't think.
Okay, well, my connection is clear, right?
No.
Now the point is this: saying I don't see God, I don't hear God, it doesn't follow from that God doesn't exist. So that is not a logical, rational defense that God doesn't exist.
Darth, your microphone's having some.
I was like, is that my headphones?
Sounds like Optimus Prime underwater.
Okay, all right. Oh, I know what happened. Hold on a second. I know what happened. It switched to my headset. Give me a second here.
All right, no problem. Oh.
Like I asked myself, like, if I waited like 5 days before I quit smoking weed, if I was just in the midst of my fucking weed high, if it would have popped to my mind and I could have gave him some great philosophical answer, like, because I do, watch a lot of that shit, and I have been studying some philosophy, and it's just like it's just like, oh man, fucking Darth. God. So I was wondering, like, man, maybe if I was like just like stoned and in my normal element, maybe it would have came to me. But fuck, Darth caught me at the wrong time, so I was just honest with him. Oh, all right. So we're about to start running in circles for a while, guys. So all right, let's go.
Well, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day.
Okay, let me just go into the settings here. All right.
Oh, that's better.
Okay. Okay. So far, you have not given a defensible, rational.
Well, give me an example of a defensible, rational reason for not believing in the existence of God. I haven't looked at one recently. Like I've been reading philosophy, but not that.
I don't believe that it's logically and rationally possible to make a universal negative and sustain. May I finish?
Are you stating though?
You asked me a question.
No,
you asked me a question. You asked me a question, and I'm trying to answer you.
All right, I'm sorry.
Atheism is a universal negative.
All right.
In a not God world, right?
Okay.
I don't believe that it is logically and rationally possible to instantiate anything being universal in a not God world. Okay?
Cool.
Atheism is a universal negative.
Right? So you're can I talk?
Sure.
So you're saying that there is no reason I can give you that's right.
No, what I'm saying to you so far is, in my asking you repeatedly to give a logical, rational defense of that there is no God, that is your position. You've yet to give one.
But you just told me one. You just told me your position is there is no rational, reasonable.
From my point of view, from your point of view, do you have a logical, rational basis to assert there is no God?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't see it.
Didn't I already refute that?
Probably like 20 times now.
Okay, so then what? So then why are you repeating something?
Because I don't know the answer that you want. Like I don't know how to.
All right, I'll ask you a simple question.
Why I don't believe in something.
I'm going to ask you a simple question. In a world,
I believe in you because I hear you right now. You're here interacting with me.
Yeah, well, you're inferring that I'm a real person. Now, the point is this: can you defend that in a world where there is a creator God of all things that are not himself, that you would necessarily see God? Can you defend that?
I mean, maybe he's got an invisibility cloak.
No, listen carefully to my question. Can you defend the statement that in a world where there is a creator God, you would necessarily see him? Can you defend that?
I don't think so.
Good.
I don't know.
Well, then saying God doesn't. So when you said God doesn't exist because I don't see him, you're implying
I don't feel him. I don't hear him.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Oh God! Actually, yeah, I could have just spoken there. For anybody just kind of joining, this happened earlier today, a few hours ago. I was in Brett Keen's stream for quite a few hours, and we had this great conversation going, and then Darth came in and did his Darth thing.
Matter, you are implying that you are justified in saying God doesn't exist because you don't see him, but you just admitted, right, that it doesn't follow because you don't see God, therefore God doesn't exist. You just said you couldn't defend the position that if a God did exist, you would necessarily see him. So that you just admitted that your own reason is not rational.
Cool.
So
I'll
repeat again. You see, and the reason why I'm sticking to this is because you're a pretty much loudmouth atheist on YouTube. I want to know right now to the YouTube audience. Tell me logically, without repeating what you've said before, because I've rebutted everything you've said. Tell me right now logically why there is no creator God.
It's not necessary.
How did that? You're restating the same claim. How did you determine that God is not necessary?
I don't know. I woke up one day and said, poof, there's no God.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the bottom line. We've been going around and around and around.
You're really worked up today, Garth.
This is how I normally talk.
I know you
have no, see, this is what you're doing. You're trying to deflect the fact that you are an outspoken atheist on YouTube. Yeah. And I want to show to the YouTube audience, you have nothing. You have no logical, rational basis to assert there is no God, do you?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't see it.
Yeah, that's already been rebutted. Do you have a counter rebuttal? You see, laughing like a drunk teenager doesn't get you out.
You can't say that anymore. I don't drink anymore. Tell me the rational, reasonable reason for God.
Okay. Fuck. I'll be glad to discuss that with you. And by that question, are you conceding that you, in all honesty to the YouTube audience out there, are you admitting by asking me that question that you do not have a logical, rational basis there is no God?
I admit, Darth, that I do not have a rational, logical basis that you accept.
No, that's not the question I asked you. What you are now doing is...
I did what you wanted, dude.
Would you please not overtalk me?
Okay.
I've been bending over backwards trying not to overspeak you.
Cool.
Now, saying that you've given an answer but I don't like it is a sleazy retort. I want to hear from you a logical, rational basis why there is no God.
All right, I'm done with that.
Me
sorry,
too.
Darth, you can come back later. I'm too tired.
I think if Brett would have gave it enough time, we would have got a rage quit out of it. I'm gonna watch just a little bit more. I make myself laugh. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't care. I gave him the reason. Like it wasn't I just don't see it. Like I just kept going to I don't see it as kind of like the general, like overall, like all of my reason into one, right? Like, cause I was like, I don't see it. I don't feel it. I don't hear it whispering to me like so many people talk about. I've never had a prayer answered. Like I gave so many different, and then finally at the end of it, it was just like so repetitive. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it, Darth. I don't see it. Tell me why I should see it. Oh God, I love myself sometimes. People don't understand my sense of humor, and this is probably like the third conversation I've been owned by Darth Dawkins because, oh my God, philosophy. But oh my God, I loved every second of it. Look, just a little bit more. Let's watch the aftermath. Darth was in the side chat. I don't know, triggered for a good half hour, 45 minutes in the private chat, sitting backstage. Like maybe Brett will bring me back in. I did not tell Brett to kick him. Let him do it, man. I wanted to see how long it would take. Sooner or later, he was gonna get so mad he was just gonna fucking leave anyway.
You keep asking the same thing, and Rage tells you he simply doesn't feel like there's enough evidence for him, and I don't see why.
It's funny how he kept accusing Rage of talking over him when he was the one doing that too.
Yeah, Darth, didn't even get a sentence out. Come back later. I ain't got no hate towards Darth, but look, man, every time you come in, you just kind of take over and you put everybody on fucking eggshells. Relax there, fella.
It's been a while with Darth, man. He waited for an opportunity to where, like, I guess John wasn't around, but John hadn't been around for a while. I don't know. He's not going to get anywhere with me. For one, like I told him straight up, I'm not ready for Darth Dawkins yet. Like, I'm studying up on philosophy, but I don't know. Like, I'm not even sure, like, if I am ready for Darth Dawkins, that I want it to be Darth Dawkins, right? Like, it's got to make him feel good. To want to have these philosophical conversations with somebody that doesn't want to have a philosophical conversation. I want to have a real conversation. If you want to know why I don't believe in God, I want to be able to give you my reasons why I've come to those conclusions, for you to accept them, and then tell me your reasons to reject them, why you still believe in a God. I'm going to try to accept your reasons for it, even if I don't believe in it. Like, if you have supernatural experiences, personal experiences with God, if you do hear that voice, you interpret it with God. I'm going to have my beliefs, but I'm not going to take away from yours. I want to have those conversations, but like Darth, like, I don't know, like, did he get kicked out of Clubhouse today? And so he saw the Raging Atheist, and I'm going to go beat up on somebody that doesn't like to have these conversations. If you're not going to accept the reasoning I'm going to give, I don't understand. So tell me what you want me to say, and I'll regurgitate it,
And that's one of my big problems with Darth Dawkins, the times I've seen him on the internet, is that he doesn't actually have real conversations with people and allow his opponent to actually give their reasons for rejecting God and then respond to those reasons in whatever manner he feels is appropriate. He clearly came into this conversation with an agenda and certain points he wanted to make, and he wasn't going to allow you to actually give your real reasons for why you reject God and respond to those.
I'm so far removed from the moment, from that. Like, man, we're talking something that was like 20 years ago for me at this point. Like, like, me coming on YouTube talking about being an atheist is just me after about 15 years of being an atheist deciding, you know what, I'm not going to be afraid to just be out and freely express what I think anymore. Like, I don't have to have some philosophical, logical reasoning behind that.
Jason's totally right. Considering your name's the Raging Atheist,
well, I did stop drinking.
Responding to him.
No, I've had interactions with Darth that went quite differently than that.
Just don't have the energy for it anymore. Huh?
Darth is at the bottom of the panel. Darth, I do like you. I dig you, and I think a lot of your arguments are fucking fantastic, but you do have some control issues you need to work on, and I don't hardly get to see my friend TTOR because he's a busy man. He's got women.
I had fun with it, it didn't bother me none. I enjoyed every minute of it. I thought my answer was reasonable, and if he would have accepted it, we could have moved on in his script, and I would have tried it out. I do believe that was probably our longest interaction we ever had. I think the first one was roughly 10 minutes, and the second one was roughly 16 minutes, and that went for about 40 minutes there. So, yeah, I think that after last night, like I said, with Taylor, to wake up and get to spin the rounds with good old Darthy Poo, it just put a good old smile on my face. It did. I know I told Pat earlier I might open up a room after. I am tired. I'm not sure. I see Richard's about to go live. I might go hop in that room. I do. I feel. I'm just tired. I'm tired. For me, like, the most rational explanation I could give. So, like, what God do you want to talk about? And I can tell you why I reject that God specifically. Like, if you want to talk about a creator of the universe, like, I don't know. that's not a God concept. That, you know, it's an argument for people that believe in specific gods to feel better about themselves or some shit. I don't know. And he, like, every time I talk to Darth, or I know, like, Darth doesn't really want to take it there, you know. He doesn't really want to talk about the Bible or anything else. He just really wants to try to trap me in a philosophical position. And my philosophical position is pretty much fuck philosophy. You know, and like, I thought by now he probably would have figured that out. And you know, I fully and totally understand that by saying fuck philosophy, I'm making a philosophical statement. But I am trying to learn it. You know, I've read quite a few books right by now. I started with the ancients, and I've kind of moved on from that. I'm really looking at. I haven't started yet, but I'm like preparing myself mentally to really try to learn epistemology and you know, try to get into like theory of knowledge and shit like that. But it's not like because I really want to. It's because douchebags like this, you know, you at least have something to offer to the masses there, outside of, you know, like just the most basic. Like I don't think you know, like for somebody that I don't know, claims to have a knowledge of logic, it doesn't seem like he can really follow the most basic form of it, or willing to accept it anyway, because it's not like the answer he's looking for, and he wants to be able to have the answer he's looking for so he can continue in his script. It's disingenuous, and I'm not really interested in that. But it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy his personality is what interests me. Like, Darth is like the type of person, it's like you can't really be like that in real life. You know, like I'm not really like raging atheist in real life. I don't go around being like, fuck you, theist, you know. And I just don't think Darth can be like that in real life, you know. You know, I believe what I believe in real life, but I don't go around, you know, like, you are so stupid for believing in your imaginary friend. Don't fire me. Oh, man. Okay, I had fun. Maybe I will end up opening up a room. We'll see how it goes. You know, like, now that I started talking and shit, I'm waking up a little bit. But I've just been so out of it all. It's when I do those open rooms and I stay up to 3:30 in the morning like that. At this point, like, you know, if I'd have been drinking all night and drunk myself to sleep, well, then I'd have just been fucking passed out for fucking 8 hours. But now that I don't drink, I stay up to 3:30 and I wake up at 6 because I usually wake up at 6. And then I try to go back to sleep, and I sleep for like 40 minutes. I wake up. I'm like, oh, I can't wake up yet. So I sleep for like 40 minutes, and I'm like, oh, man, I shouldn't wake up yet, but I ain't going back to sleep now, so I'm just like fucked. I've never really been good at taking naps, and when I do take a nap, I can't wake up from them. So it's like, what do you do? I'll just be tired. I knew that was the chance last night when I decided to stay up so late. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see if there's no rooms going on and I get bored. But I know Richard's about to have a room. I might go over and pop in there and see what's going on. But I had fun, Darth. Darth, you know, I know you think that I, you know, moderate you too much, and I'm really trying to practice patience, and I was trying to be very patient there. I was trying to answer your questions, dog. I really was. And if you want to come in and not be kicked out, I won't kick you out until you decide to leave. We can do it here, and I promise I won't use any mod powers on you. And if you tell me to shut up, I'll say, yes, sir. I'll shut up and continue your tirade, and tell me when I can speak, sir, and I'll be super, super pleasant. And you can convince me what reasonable and rational argument you might be looking for, so I can give it to you, and then we can go into the next phase of your script, and maybe I can make it to phase 2, and we can argue for like 50 fucking minutes. And then the next time, you can tell me the answer you need for phase 2, and I can give you that answer, and we can do it again, and maybe fucking hit phase 3. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Thanks for watching, guys. Y'all have a good night.